Hi guys, I think I'm live now. If you can see me and if you can hear me, if everything is good, please do let me know in the chat that you can see me and everything is fine. Then we'll start today's session. Today's session, I'll be discussing my experiences and how I was able to get 100% 3 times. I'll also give serious tips, more specific tips. If somebody is really aiming to score very high, 99.99 plus or 99.96 plus, this session will be very useful for them. In general, I think if you follow these strategies, it will be useful for anybody who is trying to get that last minute spike from their in their percentile. This is what we'll be discussing today. Please do like the stream, guys. Before the stream ends, I want to definitely get to 100 likes. We are starting this session at 8 p.m. Normally, we do our sessions at 7:30 p.m. From today, I'm looking to do it at 8 p.m. because there were a lot of people who have work experience who are going to office who told me that 7:30 p.m. They would be returning from office, so they would prefer an 8 p.m. slot, which is what we are doing now. If you prefer the 8 p.m. slot, please do let me know in the chat. If you prefer us to go back to 7:30 p.m., that's also fine. Please do let me know in the chat. I'll take your opinions into consideration. But please do like this stream, guys. We have only 28 likes. I want to definitely cross 100 likes before the stream ends. Let me answer some questions before I go and discuss today's topic. If you have any questions, please do let me know. Kishan Singh is saying, hello sir. Hi Kishan. Abhishek is saying he prefers 8 p.m. slot. That's nice, Abhishek. Bobby Kumar is saying how to manage CAT preparation with rotation shift job, including 2.5 hours of traveling. If you're traveling 2.5 hours every single day, you shouldn't waste it. You should use those 2.5 hours productively. It depends on how you're traveling. If you are traveling where you get a seat, if you're traveling by a metro, which is not too shaky, you can read a book. You can maybe solve some LRD sets. You can carry a book, a notebook. You can read the set and then you can try to answer it. If it is possible, if you can take printouts, you can take printouts of a few questions and then you can try to answer them. Or you can download our Cracku app and try to solve the daily targets if you're going in a train. If it is a Mumbai local where it is like not easy traveling, then you'll have to really consider maybe moving closer to your office, because if you are wasting 2.5 hours every single day in travel, and if you can't use it for your preparation, then you have to really think about your choices, because it is not just 2.5 hours. No, after you come home after 2.5 hours of travel, you'll also be very tired. So how much can you really study is a question. We have put a poll here whether you prefer the 8 p.m. slot or the 7:30 p.m. slot. Please do let us know by clicking so that we can figure out your opinion. Kishan Jagad is saying, Kishan Jangid is saying, sir, learnt all the concepts but not able to fully apply all the concepts in quants. Please suggest. That is fine. That happens especially if you have just about started preparation or if you have just about started taking mocks, where you understand the concepts but you don't know which concept to apply or how to apply them. The only way you will get over it is by practicing more, by solving more questions. Only then will you be able to get over that bump. I would look at it as a speed bump or maybe some sort of a uphill. Now, once you put in effort, if you change gears and go up the slope, then while coming down, it becomes very easy. You are in a similar situation where you have learned the concepts, but you're not able to figure out how to apply them. But if you start solving questions, as many questions as you can, then slowly you'll go over the hump, and then while coming down, that is once you become very good at it, you'll start finding quants very easy and very scoring. Okay, let me talk about today's session. First, let me give you some background. I took CAT in 2008, back in the day. First time I gave it was in 2007. Then I scored 99.78. I scored well in Quant and LRDA, both of them close to 100, but not exactly 100. But I scored very poorly in verbal. In CAT 2007, at that time my verbal was very poor. I was not good at even spoken English. And in those days, we used to have questions in English, which was not just reading comprehension. We were also asked questions in grammar. We were also asked to correct the sentences, those kind of things. And I scored very poorly. And overall, I got 99.78 because I think in verbal, I scored around, I think 78 or something like that. Then the next year, I focused a lot on verbal. I used to read a lot of novels. I used to read them out loud. Because one of my friends who did very well in verbal, he gave me an advice, because I asked him, how are you very good at English? And I wanted to improve in that. And he told me that he doesn't know all these rules about parallelism or what is the correct tense to use, what rule should be applied, why is this grammar correct. He doesn't know all of it. He just told me that once he hears a sentence, he knows whether that sentence is grammatically correct or not. That is, once he hears a sentence, if he finds that it is sounding odd, he would say that, okay, this is not correct. If a sentence is not sounding odd for him, intuitively he would know that this sentence is grammatically correct and this sentence is grammatically wrong. I felt that was a very interesting take, and I realized that he got that idea because he read a lot of novels and he watched a lot of movies. So what I used to do was I bought a lot of novels and I used to read them out loud because I wanted to get that intuition going where I would know whether a sentence is sounding correct or not. And I used to read a lot of novels in that 1 year, and I also solved a lot of reading comprehension sets. So at that time, in 2008, I did well. I think I scored 97 in verbal the next year, and Quant and LRDA I scored again close to 100. So overall, I got 99.97. And after that, I didn't take CAT. After CAT 2008, I didn't take CAT till CAT 2019. CAT 2019, for some reason, I had to take it. And what I did was, it was a 3-hour slot. I maxed out on Quant. I was able to solve all the questions correct in Quant, and using that, it propelled me to 100 percentile. Then I realized that the difference between 99.97 and the difference in 100, or basically the difference between somebody who's scoring 99.6 or 99.7 and 100, is the fact that in one section you have to completely ace. So if you're focusing on trying to get 100, or if you're trying to get 99.9 plus, or a very good score, top score, one of the things that is very important is in one section you have to score nearly full or close to full. In that one section, your percentile should be very close to 100. The reason for that is very simple. In the 3 sections, if you are scoring, if your percentiles in the 3 sections are say 97, 98 and 97, all those 3 individually are very good percentiles. But your overall percentile will still be around 99.2 or 99.3. It will not be 99.8 or 99.9. For you to score 99.8 or 99.9, your percentile split across the 3 sections should not be 97, 98, 97. Your percentile split should be something like 90, 98 and 99.9. If you score average in one section, average is for somebody who is aiming to go into ABC, a average percentile, not good, not bad percentile, is say around 85 to 90 percentile. If you are scoring that in the section which you are weak at, and then in remaining 2 sections you are scoring very close to 100, then your overall percentile will be very close to 100. It might not be 100 if you mess up in one section. Even if in one section you are getting 90, it will be very difficult for you to score overall 100. But if you score 90 in one section, 98 in one section and 99.9 in one section, your overall percentile will be definitely greater than 99.9. Now that is how you should aim for 100. You have to really completely ace one section. Let me look at some more questions before I answer before I continue. Please do like the stream, guys. We have close to 100 people who are watching this stream live. Please do like it. I want to get to 100 likes before the stream ends. Okay, let me look at some of the questions. So 72 people have voted. 70% of them wanted an 8 p.m. slot, and 29% wanted a 7:30 p.m. slot. So probably we'll be looking at 8 p.m. slot from next time. Let me answer some questions before I continue. If you have any questions, please do let me know. Abhishek is saying, I'm scoring 0 in DILR in mock, I'm analyzing but not progressing. I think one of the things that is happening is if you're scoring 0 in DILR, it is more of a psychological issue, because you have to believe me, you have to trust me that at least one set in DILR is definitely very easy, very straightforward. If you analyze the CAT 2023 mocks, slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, or even CAT 2022, in the last 2 years, if you analyze every slot, there is at least one set which is fairly straightforward. And that set mostly is the DI set. A DI set which involves graphs, which involves pie charts, which involves bar charts. So if you know how to analyze a pie chart, how to read a pie chart or a bar chart, you will get that set correct. And these DI sets involve simple calculations. They might be slightly time consuming, but you will definitely get at least one set correct. That is something that you have to believe. If you believe in that, you will be much calmer when you are attempting the examination. You will not be paranoid or you will not panic. And if you panic, your accuracy will decrease. Your efficiency in actually solving questions in the limited time will decrease. So you have to keep your calm and you have to believe that in DILR, I'll get at least one set correct. And to be honest, if you get one set correct, nearly in most cases, you will clear the cutoff. You will clear that 80 percentile cutoff if you get one set out of that is 12 marks correct. And in the remaining, even if you get some of the TITA questions correct, TITA questions are no loss attempts. So if you look at if you read the set and get say 2 or 3 TITA questions correct, even by chance, you will be scoring around 15 to 20 marks. If you get that, you will definitely clear the 80 percentile cutoff. So believe in that, believe that there is at least one set correct, and the way you gain confidence is in the next few mocks, don't aim to get 3 sets correct or don't aim to get 2 sets correct. Aim to get 1 set correct, go through all the 4 sets in the first 2-3 minutes, pick the set which you think is the easiest and go hammer and tong on it. Try to get that 1 set correct, and then if you do it 3-4 times, you will feel that okay, in DILR I'll get at least 1 set correct. After that you can aim for the second set. Okay, let me answer some questions. Vikas Gangwar is saying, good evening sir, I've been taking GMAT point daily target, should I take sectional of GMAT 2? Vikas Gangwar, many people have actually asked us this question. We have launched a new site for GMAT preparation. It is called gmatpoint.com. Every day we are giving one daily target in GMAT for free, one in Quant and one in verbal. The link to take the GMAT daily target will be given in the description of this video. It will also be posted in the chat. Definitely do take the GMAT daily targets. They will definitely help you in CAT preparation as well. And GMAT and CAT have a lot of overlap, especially in Quant. So you should definitely take them. As of now, all the GMAT daily targets are free. So you can definitely utilize them as well. And with respect to taking the sectional, definitely give the GMAT sectional a try and do let us know your feedback, how you felt, because we'll try to improve it. It is a sectional that we have just launched a week back. So any feedback that you have, please do let us know. We'll be very happy about it. Whether it is good or bad, how we can improve, if you just let us know, it will be very useful for the GMAT sectional. Akash Pandey is saying, is 997 profile good for general non-engineer male who's targeting ABC? I think 997 is a very good profile. 7 in undergraduation probably is on the slightly lower side. But because you're a non-engineer, you will be getting some marks for diversity, academic diversity. So that will be pretty good. Again, don't worry about your profile as of now, because your profile is something that you can't change. What is in your hands? How much you scored in your 10th is something that is already in stone. You can't change it. How much you scored in your 12th is also not in your hands. How much you scored in undergraduation in most cases is not in your hands. What is in your hands is how much CAT score you can score. What is the percentile that you can get? How are you going to use the remaining 5 months? That is in your hands, and make the best use of those 5 months. Harish is saying, how do you manage to ace all 4 sets of DILR? I know you have experience, but still, how can we make sure we solve 3 sets well? Thank you. Harish, I'll tell you my experience in DILR. Okay, my experience in DILR normally is not good. My experience in DILR in CAT 2019, when I had 1 hour and there were 8 sets, was good. Out of those 8 sets, I was able to solve 6 sets. But that was just an aberration. In CAT 2020, I didn't do well. In CAT 2021, I didn't do well. In CAT 2022, I didn't do well in DILR. I didn't do well is relative. Basically, out of 4 sets, I would get 2 sets correct. I would not get 2 sets correct in DILR. That's what I'm saying. When people are very worried that they're scoring 0 in DILR, you have to believe that if you get 1 set correct, you will mostly clear the sectional cutoff in DILR. And for me, my strategy is very simple. I try to answer all the questions in verbal, and whether I get 100 percentile or not is more or less dependent on how my accuracy in verbal is. If I score very well in verbal, if I'm able to score say 99.8, 99.9, then I have done a good job. Then in DILR is not my area of strength. DILR I would not feel is something I can say confidently that I'll solve 4 sets. Nobody can say that. DILR is a very tricky sectional. You'll always be worried. You'll always be nervous, because if you miss 1 line in a set, you will not be able to answer it in 10 minutes. And you have only 10 minutes if you want to answer all the 4 sets. Sometimes an idea won't strike you. In the section, when you're actually attempting it, you might not be able to get it correct. So I can never put my hopes that I'm going to completely ace DILR. That is not happening. What I try to do is, I try to ensure that DILR will not kill my chances of getting 100. So DILR, I try to get 2 sets correct, and if possible, I try to get 3 sets correct. And in DILR, because I've taken it multiple times, and because I think about what is the right strategic way to answer DILR, I have some tricks. I'll explain those tricks now in some time. But I use all of those tricks to maximize my chances of scoring well in DILR. But one thing which is very important for me is I have to get full marks in Quant, which is what I try to do. And I try to ace Quant and verbal, and I try to manage my losses in DILR. Because if I get 3 sets correct in DILR, that is very good. But even if I don't get 3 sets correct, even if I get 2 sets correct, that is still okay. That is basically my strategy. Now, how do I get 2 sets correct in DILR? Out of Quant, verbal and DILR, the amount of time that I spend strategizing is most for DILR. That is what I would recommend all the students also to do. Exam is not just an exam that you have to take passively. You have to think about it, you have to put mental effort to maximize your chances of doing well in the examination. So for DILR, for example, I'll look at a few things. One of the things that I look at is in the last 2-3 minutes of verbal section, I try to switch off mentally. I try to rest my brain. I try not to have this last minute like rushes. That kind of a thing happens in DILR. In the last 2-3 minutes, you suddenly solve a set and then you try to answer all the questions. That involves a lot of adrenaline, and after you finish those 2-3 minutes, you are suddenly tired because you have expended a lot of adrenaline. And then in Quant, maybe it will affect my performance in Quant, but that kind of a situation I don't want to happen with verbal, where a last minute rush will ensure that once DILR starts, I'm very tired because I have used adrenaline. So that I try to avoid. So the last 2 minutes of verbal section, I try not to attempt a new reading comprehension. I try to maybe look at 1 or 2 para jumbles or para completions. I try to put it to the verbal section so that there is no rush, there is no adrenaline rush. I try to see what is the best, and then I try to attempt these individual questions. So there is no nervousness, there is no panic towards the end of verbal section. And I try at least to take the last 30 seconds completely off in verbal. I try to do that at least for the last 30 seconds, maybe a minute, so that I can just rest, calm down, calm myself, and be very prepared for DILR. This is one thing that I do for DILR. The second thing I do is once DILR starts, I try to look at all the 4 sets. I spend the first 2-3 minutes looking at all the 4 sets, because again, I know that for me, I have to get definitely 2 sets correct. I don't need to get 3 sets correct. I don't need to get 4 sets correct. If I get 3 sets correct, that's terrific. And I don't think I'll get all 4 sets correct. It has never happened that I have solved the entire DILR paper. It has never happened. Most of the times, I don't even get 3 sets correct. Most of the times, I get 2 sets correct. So my goal is I have to get at least 2 sets correct, and then everything else is a bonus. Now, how do I get 2 sets correct? The only way, I believe that there will be at least 1 set which is easy, which I'll definitely get. And then there should be at least 1 more set which I should try to get. And one of the things that I should avoid, completely avoid, is I should not get stuck in a difficult set. Now, to do that, what should I do? What I should do is I have to look at all the 4 sets first. I have to spend 30 to 40 seconds trying to understand what this set is about. Is it a Venn diagram set? Is it an arrangement set? Is it a scheduling set? Or is it a set which is completely new? CAT always asks many LRDIs, at least one LRDI which is completely new. You don't really know how to represent it. In DILR, one of the most important things is you have to know how to represent the data. If it is an arrangement set, you know exactly that I have to draw a table and then I have to reiterate through all the clues, and then the set will be solved. If it is a Venn diagram set, if it is a 4-parameter Venn diagram, again I know that how to draw the 4-parameter Venn diagram, I know how to fill it up. If it is a scheduling one, I have a sense of how to start representing the data. So some of the types of LRDIs, I know how to represent the data. Some of the types, I have no idea. It is a completely new set. So I don't want to venture into that. Now, another thing I look at when I look at this LRDI is, are the questions individual questions or are they group questions? Are these questions completely solvable? If I solve the set and the instructions, can I completely solve all the 4 questions or all the 5 questions? Those sets are very nice sets. Those are the sets I want to solve, because if I spend 10 minutes, I solve the entire set, then I'm also confident that I got the set correct. Sometimes if you have individual questions, every question you have to solve again and again. They'll give you a new question, new instructions, and you have to solve every question again and again, where it is first of all tiring. Second of all, you are not really sure. Even if you finish it, you are not really sure whether you got it correct or not. And when you are underconfident that way, it will affect how you proceed to the next set. So I try to solve the sets which can be completely solved once I solve the set. Finally, once I have done with it, in the last 10 minutes or so, in the last 5-6 minutes, if I'm not close to solving any set, I try to ensure that I make strategic answers for TITA questions. I'll give you 2 examples about how I've actually done that in the last 2 years. Once I think in 2020, once I think in 2021. It has helped me quite a lot. In 2020, I think there was one set which I didn't really understand. It was maybe 2020 or 2021, maybe most likely 2020. There was a set on high-low. It was some game that people play. It was some high-low. There are many rounds that they play. But I know that the rounds are from 1 to 6. I think in the instructions it was told that they play for 6 rounds or something. And there were 3 TITA questions where you had to guess the round. Something like, in which round did this particular thing happen? In which round did that particular thing happen? Then I realized that, okay, there are 3 TITA questions. I didn't understand the set. I didn't understand the game because I was probably tensed at that time and time was running low. So when I read it, I realized that all the answers should be natural numbers which are less than 6. And again, I felt that most of the cases, this won't happen in the first round, because they won't give you this kind of an answer question that something will happen in the first round, and probably it won't even happen in the last round. 1 and 6 I ruled out. So it has to be 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I strategically marked all of them as 3 or 4. 3, 4, 3, 4 I marked, and I got, I think, 2 sets correct, 2 questions correct. That was strategy. I didn't understand the question. I just put strategically that there's a good chance this will be 3 or 4, and all the answers I attempted as 3 or 4. That was one thing that happened. In the next year, there was, I think in CAT 2021, there was one set about one guy, some guy who delivers some packages. He is, I think, some food delivery guy, something like that, who delivers to 4 people. All of them were in slot 3. This also was in CAT 2021. It was in slot 3, and I did not solve it properly. I misread one of the instructions, because of which I was not able to solve the set. But I was able to figure out that there are 2 cases possible. There was case 1 where I'm getting one table. There was case 2 where I'm getting a different table. Now, based on it, I was able to identify that there were some values which are common to both the tables in both the cases. So whenever there was a question in that which was overlapping these 2, I put that as the answer because I knew that will be the answer. And for the remaining questions, what I did was I took, I think out of 6 questions, that was a 6 question set, I think 2 questions I got correct because there was an overlap and I knew they were the answers. And for the remaining 4, 2 questions I put it assuming case A to be true. And for the remaining 2 questions, I put it assuming case B to be true. What happened was I got 4 questions correct and 2 questions wrong. Now that also is strategy where I was not able to solve the set completely, but I was able to at least figure out that there are 2 cases, case A and case B. Now using these, first of all, check for the overlap. Second, answer some questions assuming that case A is true. Answer some questions assuming case B is true. At least you'll get some questions correct. And finally, I think this also happened in one of the CATs where I think maybe CAT 2021 only, where, or CAT 2020, where this was something like there was a plot of land and there was some father who planted some trees and he distributed it to his daughters. There was a set like this in one of the CATs. Again, I was not able to solve it, but again, I was close to solving it. But finally, I realized that one of the answers has to be a multiple of 3. I was able to figure out that one of the values has to be a multiple of 3, but I was not able to figure out what multiple of 3 it is. I felt that it can be either 3 or 6 or 9. Luckily for me, one of the questions was asking that value, and only I think 6 was given in the options. All the remaining options were not multiples of 3. I think the other options were like say 8 and 10 or something. Then I realized that, okay, I know for sure that this is a multiple of 3. Amongst the options here, this is the only one which is a multiple of 3. So I used the options given in one of the questions to help solve the complete set. And then I got the entire set correct. Now these are tricks, these are strategies that you will get only if you have experience. How will you gain experience? For me, I take CAT regularly, so I gain experience by taking the examination. How will a student gain that experience? A student will gain experience by taking mocks regularly and taking the mocks very seriously. You have to tell yourself, you have to trick yourself into thinking that the mock that you're taking is the actual examination. Your brain, your adrenaline, all of them have to work so that these skills are actually improved. These are skills that you have to gain while taking mocks, and you'll gain those skills only if you assume that the exam is very serious. You take it very seriously, only then you'll be able to develop these kind of tricks. Okay guys, please do like the stream. We have more than 100 people who are watching this stream live. I want to get to a lot of likes. I want to get to at least 100 likes. We have only 89 likes. Please do ask questions also. I'll be answering some of the questions now. Sir, does accuracy play a role in normalization process? Accuracy does not play any role in normalization. There is actual formula for how normalization works. The formula is actually available on the CAT website. Accuracy doesn't play a part. Sir, how to manage between sectionals and mocks? What would be the best plan for it? Between mocks and sectionals, what I would recommend is take sectionals if you are weak in one section. If you are, for example, doing quite okay in Quant and LRDA, but are not good in verbal, then take as many verbal sectionals as you can. That is where you use the sectionals. Otherwise, I would recommend you to take mocks. Sir, I am average in all 3 sections. Should I focus in one section more to get high overall percentile, or should I pay equal attention in all 3? I would recommend you to become good in one section. That will definitely help you push the overall percentile. You will get the initial spike by becoming very good in one section. But try to ensure that you are not very poor in any section. You should do average in 2 sections and spike in one section. And average is again a relative term. Try to score if you are a gym who wants to get into a top IIM, and if you are aiming for say 99, 99.2 plus, the easiest way is scoring 90 in 2 sections and 99, 99.5, 99.6 in the 3rd section. That will ensure that your overall percentile crosses 99. And that I think is the easiest way to do it. Rakesh Chindrala is saying how to overcome burnout while preparation. You have to tell yourself, man. Burnout basically for a young kid or or for a young person, I find it very surprising. And I don't want to sound condescending, but I also find it disappointing. You should not feel burnt out. Why would you feel burnt out? Because the examination is so important. If you take your future, if you take your career seriously, why would you feel burnt out? This examination is very, very important for you. If you want to get into an IIM, which will change your life. Okay, I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen to many students. Some students come to work at Cracku every year who have done well in CAT, and I know how their future changes once they do well in CAT. Somebody who joins as a content manager in Cracku, after they do well in CAT, I know how confident they become. And once they convert one of the institutes, we have every year people go into A, B, C, L from Cracku. Once they get into any of these big institutes, the career path that they will take suddenly changes quite a lot. It is like a gift. It's like a lottery. I wouldn't say it's a lottery because it involves a lot of hard work, not just luck. It also involves some luck, but it also involves a lot of hard work. But suddenly their life changes. Now this is such a nice opportunity that you have. Now if you are feeling burnt out and if you are not able to motivate yourself, I find that very disappointing. I've actually done a video about how to motivate yourself when you're feeling nervous or discouraged or demotivated. We'll release it tomorrow. It involves a story from Ramayana in Sundarakanda. Definitely do watch it tomorrow. It is a nice sloka that I have recorded. It is from Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana. Definitely do watch it. I think that will motivate you to ensure that you don't give up. Please do like the stream, guys. We have more than 125 people who are watching the stream live. And do let me know how many of you are actually taking the Cracku daily targets. If you are taking the Cracku daily targets, please do message in the chat that you are taking the Cracku daily targets. And let me know how many daily targets you have taken. Every person who has taken a daily target will have a streak. So let me know what is the daily target streak that you have going right now. Ajitesh Rajkumar is saying, I'm taking daily targets every day. I'm taking daily. Abhishek Kidambi is saying. Shubham Hawale is also saying that he's taking daily targets. Arpit Gupta is saying his daily target streak is 16. Very well done, Abhishek. Very well done, Arpit. Try to increase it. That streak we have put to inculcate a sense of habit so that you never give up. Because even if you are feeling slightly tired, it might be a long day, but because that streak is there, you would come back and you would spend like say 30 minutes in solving the daily target. That habit is very important to do well in CAT. Abhishek Kidambi is saying, I had a streak of 46 but lost it between the examinations. Oh, that is very unfortunate. Football World is saying 42. Fantastic, Football World. Somebody asked, sir, while checking the profile of a fresher, do internships count or only proper work ex? I think only proper work ex counts when you're looking at work experience. An internship doesn't count. Vikas Gangwar is saying, yes, sir, taking daily targets for 32 days now, and I feel they're awesome. Thanks a lot, Vikas Gangwar. Thousands of students take our Cracku daily targets every day, thousands. And I know that they benefit quite a lot. So somebody who is enrolled to our Cracku, especially Cracku daily targets, I would recommend you to definitely take the daily targets every single day. We're also releasing dashcats. I think dashcats, four dashcats are released along with 5 head start mocks. So you have 9 mocks at your disposal for Cracku students. Definitely do take them. All of them have video solutions, and we have also prepared the mocks such that they represent or they're as close to the actual examination as possible. So definitely do take them. EdTech sales count in work ex? Shoaib is asking. That depends. If you are an actual employee, a permanent employee with salary slips and with offer letter and all, it will count as work experience. Football World is saying, sir, in mocks, I'm not able to solve the 4th RC. If you're not able to solve the 4th RC, I think that is okay. Don't worry about it. If you're solving 3 RCs and verbal, all the verbal questions, that is more than enough. Unless you are really going for like say 99.8 plus, try to ensure that your accuracy is good in the 3 RCs that you're solving and your accuracy is good in the verbal section. JJ Kavisik Kumar is saying, sir, I am performing poorly in daily targets, especially in VRC, getting only -1 or -2 after taking 20 RCs. I'm fed up, still struggling in VRC. Don't get fed up, don't feel demotivated. If you're feeling demotivated, you have to motivate yourself. So don't worry about it, just put in the effort and eventually you'll get the results. None like this is saying any suggestions for improving quant. Book recommendations too, please, because watching videos takes up a lot of time since we are college students. I would recommend you to, instead of reading books, read the op-eds. Go to Indian Express, go to The Guardian, go to New York Times or the New Yorker, New York Post, any of this, and read the editorials. And the editorials, I would recommend you to not read the political editorials or any editorial where you think is very biased one side. Don't read those kind of editorials, because those kind of editorials won't come in the examination. In the examination, you will get balanced articles. So try to read editorials which are based on culture or based on current affairs, not necessarily politics. So try to read these kind of editorials, history, philosophy, art. Recently, I read an article on Pablo Picasso in The Guardian, which I found to be very interesting. Pablo Picasso and his girlfriend. Those kind of articles can actually come in the examination. His ex-girlfriend recently died, so there was an article on it which I found to be very interesting. So essentially what I'm saying is look at those kind of articles which are current affairs, because that woman has recently died, but are not political. So it is not about any of the political leaders either in UK or US or India, because those I feel are more or less very biased, and in the examination you won't get a one-sided editorial. Anmol Sharma is saying, hello sir, got 99.02 last time. Please tell me what extra I can do to reach 99.8. Anmol, from 99.02 to 99.8, the big step that you should do is, in 2 sections, you have to increase your percentile. If you have scores in 95 percentile, you have to increase it from 95 to 97. And in 1 section, you have to completely ace it. 1 section most likely will be either verbal or quant. Like I told earlier, DILR is slightly tricky. You can't put your eggs on DILR. But in quant or verbal, you have to completely ace it. You should score close to 99.8 in 1 section, so that your overall percentile really picks up from 99 to 99.5, 99.6. Okay guys, I'll answer one last question before ending the stream now. Please do like this stream, guys. I want to get to as many likes as possible. I want to get to, how many likes do we have? We have 123 likes. Let us try to get to 150 likes, guys. Please do let me know. Somebody asked Nanrud how to give mocks and analyze them. How should I devise strategy for the next mock? Okay, that's a very nice question. What I recommend is, I've done a video on analyzing mocks. Saili also has done a video on how to analyze mocks thoroughly. We'll post a link to that. So use that to understand how you can analyze mocks. But the number of mocks that you should take, I'll tell you. From now till the end of August, take 1 mock, maybe 2 weeks. If possible, take 1 mock every weekend. But even if you miss some weekends, try to ensure that the average is at least 1 mock every 2 weeks. From now till the end of August. From August end, that is September, and say till mid-October, try to take 1 mock every weekend. And from the end of October and all of November, try to take 2 mocks every week. Essentially, somebody who is trying to score 90 plus, 99 plus should take 30 plus mocks is what I would recommend. Okay guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. If you have any doubts with respect to your CAT preparation journey, please do let us know in the comments. I will look at all the comments and I'll try to answer them to the best of my ability. What I would recommend you is very simple. We are providing a lot of free resources. All the CAT previous papers that I mentioned, CAT 2020, CAT 2021, CAT 2022, all the slots, even the earlier CATs, all of them are available for free as PDF on our website. The link to download them will be given in the description. Download all the PDFs and keep answering the LRDIs on a regular basis. That is one thing you can do. Second, we have 1 free mock for CAT. Definitely do take it. It is taken by thousands of students and it has complete video solutions. It is very close to the actual examination, so it will help you quite a lot. And thirdly, if you are enrolled to Cracku Daily Targets, that in my opinion is one of the best resources that you have to practice well for CAT. So take the daily targets every day. Thousands of students take our Cracku Daily Targets every day. It will help you quite a lot. Okay guys, thanks for tuning in. Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments.